Good morning, children. In the previous class, we read the lesson, The New Blue Dress. So please take page number 19. Now we will explain the lesson. The New Blue Dress. When spring came to the city of Cleveland in 1909, it did not change Gates Avenue. People who lived on the pretty streets near Gates Avenue were making gardens and painting their houses. But Gates Avenue continued to look dirty and ugly. So, in one avenue, that means one colony, is a colony. So, there is no change in this Gates Avenue. But wherever in other avenues or in other colonies, there is a lot of change, because when spring comes, the place becomes very pleasant and they change or they do some cleaning and everything in their houses or in their premises. But here, no change, because no one cares for the place of our neatness. Gates Avenue was a short street, but it seemed longer because it was so ugly. See, when the things are so ugly, it looks very long because of dirt. We get angry about it. We don't like it. We dislike the place. That's why it looks very longer. Most of the families who lived there had very little money. The people have very little money. That means they are very poor. They never expected to have any more, because they have never expected any more, because they can't go for much work. They don't have much properties. Their houses had not been painted for many years, and they did not even have running water. What do you mean running water? They don't have tap water. The street itself was ugly too. There was no pavement. There was no street light. You know the pavement means? Pavement means the way that we can walk aside. Okay, that is the pavement. And there was no street lights also. And the railroad at the end of Gates Avenue added noise and dirt. But there was a railway track, okay, railway line, and the trains go that way, and they make a lot of noise. And also the people who travel in the train, they throw all the papers, okay, all the waste things other side, okay, when they are traveling. So the things are there lying on the ground. The other girls in the school near Gates Avenue wore new and pretty clothes that spring. See, other girls who come to the school are putting on a good dress. But the little girl from Gates Avenue still wore the dirty dress that she had worn all winter. So she is wearing the dress that is in the winter. Before the season that comes before spring is winter. Winter and chalikala. So the girl is putting on only one dress all the time. Okay, in winter and summer, whatever season it is, she is putting on only one dress. Probably that was the only dress she owned. Owned means she has. Okay, she has. Because she is wearing this dress, because she doesn't have another dress. Her teacher was very unhappy. The little girl was so nice. The girl was actually, she is beautiful. But the teacher was unhappy because that girl doesn't put on the nice dress, clean dress. She always worked hard in school. She is a good student. She also studies well. She was always friendly and polite. She is very good girl. Her behavior is good, and she is very polite. She knows how to speak and how to be related with the children or the teachers. Her face was dirty and her hair was untidy. Untidy means not clean. But anyone could see that she was pretty under the dirt. Even though she was not clean, actually she is a beautiful girl. One day the teacher said, won't you wash your face before you come to school tomorrow morning? Even she doesn't wash her face. So teacher requested her to wash her face before she comes to school. Please do that just for me. The next morning the child's pretty face was clean and her hair tidy. So the next day the girl washed her face very nicely and she combed her hair. Before the little girl went home that afternoon, the teacher said, "Now dear, please ask your mother to wash your dress. At least you may have the old dress, but at least tell your mother to wash the clothes, your dress." But the little girl continued to wear the same dirty dress. Her mother is probably not interested in her, the teacher thought. So she bought a bright blue dress and gave it to the little girl. The child took the gift eagerly and rushed home. Eagerly, we means very happily. So she has a lot of interest. Eagerly means so much interest. She liked the dress so much. The next morning she came to school in the new blue dress and she was very clean and tidy. So she put on the new dress and came to the school. She told her teacher, "My mother couldn't believe her eyes and when she saw me this morning in my new dress." That means the girl is telling the teacher that she looks very beautiful and her mother was surprised to see her beauty. "My father wasn't at home, but he will see me at supper tonight." So her father had gone to work. So she said that her father will see her in the night. She was full of excitement. Excitement means very happy, very happy. When her father saw her in the new blue dress, he was amazed. What does it mean amazed? Amazed, wondered, ஆச்சரியப்படப்பட்டு, to find that he had a very pretty little girl. When the family ate supper, he was even more amazed to see a cloth on the kitchen table. So before that, they were not even using the tablecloth on the kitchen table. The family had never used a tablecloth before. They were not using at all. "We are going to begin to be tidier here," his wife said. So that means after seeing the blue new dress, the girl's mother decided to change their lifestyle, to make the things very clean. Tidier means clean. "I am ashamed to be dirty when our daughter is so clean." I am ashamed. Ante siggupadtunanu enduku our daughter is so clean. When they saw the little girl very clean, they can't think of being dirty by themselves. After supper, the mother began to wash the kitchen floor. So after supper, the mother cleaned the kitchen floor. Her husband watched silently for several moments. Several means many. Moments means for a lot of time. Then he went outside and began to repair the fence. So after seeing that work of the wife, he went out to begin repair the fence. Fence అంటే ఇది చుట్టుపక్కల ఉండేటువంటిది ఆ వైర్ కావచ్చు, కంప కావచ్చు, దాన్ని శుభ్రం చేయడానికి. The next evening, with the family's help, he began to make a garden. So after putting the fence around, then he started putting the garden, making the garden. During the following week, the man in the next house watched what his neighbor was doing. So the girl's family started doing some changes in the premises, in their ground. So the people around saw that, and by the end of the week, the man began to paint his house. So even others also started painting the house for the first time in 10 years. So after 10 years, they are painting their house. A few days later, the young minister of a church near Gates Avenue passed these two houses and saw two men working. So he saw that two families changing a lot around the houses. For the first time, he noticed that there was no pavement on Gates Avenue. So the minister also saw that there was no pavement, there is no way, proper way to walk, and no street light and no running water. People who are trying so hard to make decent homes here deserve help, the minister thought. Since he saw that the people are working so hard now, at least they need proper way and street lights and also running water, that means tap water. He asked some important citizens in the city to help them. What are the important citizens means? The authorities in the place, authorities of the place, maybe like Sarpanch or VRO or MRO or MPD, whatever may be, or district collectors, like that. So, important citizens. A few months later, because of the young minister, there was a pavement on Gates Avenue. So, because of this minister, they put up the pavement. There was a street light on the corner, so they put the street light also. And the houses had running water, so they fixed the running water, tap waters. 6 months after the little girl got her new blue dress, Gates Avenue had become a tidy street where respectable citizens lived. So they started cleaning, and now after 6 months of the blue dress, there was a lot of change. When people in other places heard the story of Gates Avenue, they began to organize their own cleanup campaigns. So once they saw the Gates Avenue, there was a lot of change, and even many other people in other avenues also started doing repair or making clean. Since 1913, more than 7,000 towns and cities have organized campaigns for painting and repairing homes and making better lives for the people who live in them. So once they started doing all these things, the people respect them. They look like respectable people. Who knows what will happen when a teacher gives a little girl a new blue dress. So this has become possible just because a teacher thought of a little girl and interested in that little girl, gave a little gift of blue dress, and after that the family members changed, then the neighbors changed, and almost all the country changed. This is how the people can start influencing others. Okay children, I hope you understood the lesson.